What is cyanuric acid? Cyanuric acid is a conditioner and stabilizer for pools. It is also known as stabilizer, conditioner, or 2,4,6-trihydroxy-S-triazine. This white granular solid chemical reduces chlorine loss due to ultraviolet rays from sunlight. It is not toxic and does not significantly penetrate the skin. It is used in commercial or public swimming pools in the US up to a maximum level of 100 ppm. It protects chlorine in water from sunlight and extends the life of chlorine in water by protecting it from the sun's ultraviolet rays. It is added once or twice a year in most pools, maintaining a level of 30 to 80 ppm. Levels above 100 ppm are unnecessary and can cause problems. Cyanuric acid does not decompose in pool water. It is only removed through water replacement or when bathers splash and leave the pool. What is an ideal cyanuric acid level? The ideal cyanuric acid level, the ideal cyanuric acid CYA level in pool water is 30 to 50 ppm. With a maximum of 50 ppm. It is important because CYA acts as a buffer against pH decrease and controls the amount of chlorine available for disinfection and oxidation. An ideal CYA level helps maintain stable pH levels, prevents a decrease in pH, and slows down the loss of free chlorine, FC, due to UV degradation from sunlight. Additionally, it helps protect chlorine from being destroyed by sunlight and moderates chlorine strength. How to increase cyanuric acid in the pool? To increase cyanuric acid in the pool, you can use products that contain CYA such as trichlor or dichlor. Trichlor can increase CYA levels by 6 ppm for every 10 ppm of free chlorine added, while dichlor can increase CYA levels by 9 ppm for every 10 ppm of free chlorine added. It's important to know that trichlor is about 50% CYA, so adding 10 ppm of trichlor will increase CYA levels by 6 ppm. Additionally, sodium dichloroisocyanurate can increase CYA levels by 56% to 62% per pound in 10,000 gallons of water. How to increase cyanuric acid of the pool with trichlor? To increase the cyanuric acid CYA levels of the pool using trichlor, you can follow these 5 steps. 1. Determine the current CYA level of the pool using a test kit or test strips. 2. Calculate the amount of trichlor needed to increase the CYA level by the desired amount. Remember that for every 10 ppm of chlorine added by trichlor, the CYA level increases by 6 ppm. 3. Add the calculated amount of trichlor to the pool water. You can either use trichlor tablets or granules. Allow the trichlor to dissolve and circulate in the pool water. This may take some time depending on the product used. 5. Test the CYA level again after a few days to ensure it has reached the desired range. If needed, repeat the process until the desired CYA level is achieved. It's important to know that while trichlor is an effective way to increase CYA levels, it should be used with caution as high CYA levels can slow down chlorine kill times and require high levels of free chlorine. It's recommended to maintain a CYA level of 30 to 50 ppm in residential pools. How to increase cyanuric acid of the pool with dichlor? To increase the cyanuric acid CYA levels of the pool using dichlor, you can follow these steps. 1. Determine the desired increase in parts per million ppm of CYA in the pool. 2. Calculate the amount of dichlor needed based on the CYA increase. Remember that for every 10 ppm of free chlorine added by dichlor, the CYA level increases by 9 ppm. 3. Measure or weight the required dose of dichlor. It's important to know that 56% dichlor is about 50% cyanuric acid, and 62% dichlor is about 58% cyanuric acid. 4. Add the measured amount of dichlor directly to the pool water. You can either broadcast it or pour it into the pool. 5. Use a pool brush to help dissolve any powder that may accumulate on the pool bottom. 6. Wait for the dichlor to dissolve and disperse in the pool water. This may take some time, especially if you're using granular dichlor, which can take days to dissolve. Test the CYA levels of the pool water using a reliable test kit. Repeat the process if necessary to achieve the desired CYA level. It's important to know that high levels of CYA can slow down chlorine kill times and may require higher levels of free chlorine for effective disinfection. How can CYA levels increase rapidly? CYA levels can increase quickly due to the use of products containing CYA such as trichlor and dichlor. The increase can occur regardless of pool gallons or product concentrations. Products like trichlor and dichlor contain CYA, and their use can lead to a rapid increase in CYA levels. This increase is not dependent on the volume of the pool or the concentration of the product used. For instance, adding 10 ppm or free chlorine FC through trichlor increases CYA by 6 ppm, while adding 10 ppm of FC through dichlor raises CYA by 9 ppm. Therefore, the use of these products can cause a significant rise in CYA levels in a short period of time. Is low cyanuric acid level in the pool water dangerous? No, low cyanuric acid levels in pool water are not dangerous. Cyanuric acid is primarily used to protect chlorine from degradation by sunlight. It acts as a stabilizer and helps to maintain the effectiveness of chlorine in disinfecting the pool water. However, having low levels of cyanuric acid does not pose any direct health risk or dangers. It simply means that the chlorine in the pool water may degrade more quickly when exposed to sunlight, requiring more frequent additions of chlorine to maintain proper disinfection levels. How to lower pool cyanuric acid? To lower cyanuric acid CYA levels in pool water, the most effective method is to partially drain and refill the pool with fresh water. This dilutes the concentration of CYA in the pool. It is important to know that granular CYA can take days to dissolve and may potentially harm pool surfaces and equipment, so it is recommended to use liquid instant conditioner instead. Additionally, using a non-stabilized chlorine or switching to a chlorine generator can help prevent further increase in CYA levels. It's important to know that there are no chemicals or treatments specifically designed to lower cyanuric acid levels in pool water. What are the effects of high cyanuric acid in pool water? The effects of high cyanuric acid levels in pool water include slowing down chlorine kill times, requiring high levels of free chlorine for disinfection and oxidation, and reducing the effectiveness of chlorine. High levels of cyanuric acid can also impact the water's buffering capacity and affect the calculation of the saturation index. Additionally, public pools may need to switch to a non-stabilized chlorine or drain and refill some of the water to keep the cyanuric acid level below 100 ppm. Is high cyanuric acid in pool dangerous? No, high level of cyanuric acid, CYA, in pool water are not considered dangerous or toxic. However, they can have some negative effects on pool maintenance and chlorine effectiveness. High CYA levels can slow down chlorine kill times and require high level of chlorine to maintain proper sanitation. Additionally, public pools may need to switch to a non-stabilized chlorine or drain and refill some of the water to keep CYA levels below 100 ppm. It is recommended to keep CYA levels in residential pools below 50 ppm. Is cyanuric acid toxic? Cyanuric acid is not toxic. It is allowed in commercial or public swimming pools in the US up to a maximum level of 100 ppm. Studies have shown that cyanuric acid does not significantly penetrate the skin and is not carcinogenic, mutagenic, teratogenic, or phytotoxic. The primary routes of toxicities are through the skin and oral ingestion, but accidental ingestion during swimming is the only possible way of intake. Even if a child were to ingest 1 cup of pool water containing 375 ppm cyanuric acid every day for 150 days, the amount ingested would still be 100 times lower than the level that produced no toxic effects in animals. Previously, New York did not permit its use in any commercial or public pool, but the code has recently been changed to allow its use in outdoor pools. There are no specific codes for residential pools. In 1984, a newspaper article claimed that cyanuric acid caused cancer, leading to 5 million retesting of its toxicity by manufacturers. What are the effects of cyanuric acid on pool water quality? The effects of cyanuric acid CYA on pool water quality include slowing down chlorine kill times. High level of CYA can slow down the effectiveness of chlorine in killing bacteria and algae in the pool water. Increased chlorine demand. Higher levels of CYA require higher levels of chlorine to maintain proper disinfection and oxidation in the pool water. Protection against UV degradation. CYA absorbs ultraviolet UV radiation, protecting the chlorine in the water from being degraded by sunlight. buffer against pH decrease. CYA acts as a buffer against pH decrease in the pool water. Moderation of chlorine strength. CYA significantly moderates the strength of chlorine in the water, allowing it to remain active for a longer period of time. It's important to note that while CYA is beneficial in maintaining pool water quality, excessive levels can have negative effects on chlorine effectiveness and water balance. Therefore, it is recommended to keep CYA levels within the recommended range of 30 to 50 ppm for residential pools. What is cyanuric acid in chemistry? Cyanuric acid, a trimer of cyanic acid, is a stable, non-volatile compound with a cyclic structure involving carbon, oxygen, nitrogen, and hydrogen atoms. It's widely used in outdoor pools and spas as a chlorine stabilizer against UV light degradation and in the synthesis of various substances like herbicides, resins, dyes, pharmaceuticals, and disinfectants. Despite being generally safe, high concentration can diminish chlorine effectiveness and cause eye irritation. It's biodegradable, decomposing under sunlight and bacteria, but can accumulate in pool water and soil, raising environmental concerns. Its presence is detectable with specific test kits or strips. What is pool cyanuric acid balance? The pool cyanuric acid balance refers to maintaining the appropriate level of cyanuric acid, CYA, in the pool water. CYA acts as a buffer against pH decrease and controls the amount of chlorine available for disinfection and oxidation. The recommended CYA level in pool water is 30 to 50 ppm, with a maximum of 50 ppm for residential pools. Public pools must keep the CYA level below 100 ppm. Maintaining the proper CYA balance is important for effective pool maintenance and ensuring the chlorine effectiveness in killing bacteria and algae. How to test swimming pool cyanuric acid levels in water? To accurately measure cyanuric acid levels, CYA, in pool water, you can use a turbidity test. This involves adding a reagent to a water sample, which causes the water to become cloudy. The cloudiness is then compared to a color chart to determine the CYA level. If the test result shows a level near 100 ppm, a dilution test can be performed to determine the correct level. This involves mixing equal amounts of pool water and tap or bottled water, repeating the test, and then multiplying the result by the dilution factor 2 or 3 to the correct CYA level. What is the importance of cyanuric acid for chlorinated water? Cyanuric acid is important for chlorinated water because it acts as a stabilizer or conditioner for chlorine. It protects chlorine from degradation by sunlight's ultraviolet rays, which can use the chlorine to break down and become less effective. Cyanuric acid forms a complex with chlorine known as chlorinated isocyanurates, which helps to slow down the loss of free chlorine and prolong its effectiveness in disinfecting and oxidizing the water. Additionally, cyanuric acid serves as a reservoir for active chlorine, allowing for a sustained release of chlorine over time. How to achieve cyanuric acid balance in pool water? To achieve cyanuric acid CYA balance in pool water, you can follow these steps. 1. Test the current CYA level in your pool water using a CYA test kit. 2. If the CYA level is below the recommended range of 30 to 50 ppm, you can add cyanuric acid or liquid instant conditioner to increase the CYA level. Be aware the granular CYA can take days to dissolve and may potentially harm pool surfaces and equipment. 3. If the CYA level is above the recommended range, you will need to lower the CYA levels. This can be done by partially draining and refilling the pool water or using a CYA reducer product. 4. Regularly test the CYA level to ensure it stays within the recommended range. Adjust as necessary to maintain the desired CYA level. It's important to note that the recommended CYA level may vary depending on the type of pool, residential or public, and the use of chlorine generators. Always refer to local health codes and guidelines for specific recommendation for your pool. Is pool stabilizer and cyanuric acid the same thing? Yes, pool stabilizer and cyanuric acid CYA are the same thing. Cyanuric acid is commonly referred to as a stabilizer or conditioner in the pool industry. It is used to protect chlorine in the water from being destroyed by sunlight. The terms pool stabilizer and cyanuric acid are used interchangeably to describe the same chemical compound. How does CYA build-up affect algae growth? Using trichlor for disinfection can cause CYA to build up quickly. For each 10 ppm of free chlorine produced, it also produces 6 ppm of CYA. If you don't raise the free chlorine level correspondingly, algae will begin growing. How does CYA protect chlorine from sunlight? When chlorine binds to CYA, it gains protection from sunlight. Having 30 ppm CYA in water can reduce kill time by a factor of 15 to 30 and can keep chlorine in pool water roughly 8 times longer than without it. However, the rate of chlorine loss is higher than predicted based solely on the remaining unbound chlorine in the water. This suggests that some chlorine may break down even when bound to CYA, but less frequently due to its longer half-life. How does CYA serve as a reservoir for active chlorine? CYA acts as a reservoir for active killing form of chlorine, HOCl, similar to reserve soldiers in a battle. The killing rate doesn't depend on the reserve amount or the replacement speed of fallen soldiers. How can indoor pools benefit from using CYA? Using a small amount of CYA, around 20 ppm in indoor pools, allows for a lower active chlorine concentration while maintaining a sufficient chlorine reserve. This means that with CYA, indoor pools can have a lower concentration of free chlorine FC, but still have enough chlorine reserve to keep the water clean and safe. For example, a 4 ppm FC with 20 ppm CYA is roughly equivalent to 0.2 ppm FC with no CYA at 77 degrees Fahrenheit. This equivalence increases with temperature, lowering the FC concentration, reduces harshness on swimsuits, skin, and hair, and producing less nitrogen trichloride, which can cause irritation and health issues. However, it's important to know that indoor pools often require supplemental oxidation to control organic compounds and disinfection byproducts. What is the role of cyanuric acid CYA in pools? The relationship between chlorine and CYA has been known since 1974. However, due to a long-standing controversy, many in the pool and spa industry do not fully understand this relationship or CYA's functions in a pool. CYA, also known as conditioner, stabilizer, and isocyanuric acid, has been a contentious topic since its introduction to the pool industry in 1956. It has been the subject of numerous articles, papers, and discussions, leading to widespread confusion about its function. Here's what CYA does: protects chlorine from UV degradation, making it last 8 times longer, buffers pH against increase, influences chlorine's kill rate, increases the need for free chlorine, lowers pH and alkalinity, affects the calculation of the saturation index, builds up and potentially allows algae growth weeks after startup, buffers chlorine itself, releasing it as needed. What is the effect of CYA on chlorine sunlight protection? When chlorine binds to CYA, it gains protection from sunlight. Having 30 ppm CYA in water can reduce kill times by a factor of 50 to 30 and keep chlorine in pool water roughly 8 times longer than without it. However, the rate of chlorine loss is higher than predicted based solely on the remaining unbound chlorine in the water. This suggests that some chlorine may break down even when bound to CYA, but less frequently due to its longer half-life. How to calculate water balance using cyanuric acid levels? When cyanuric acid levels are high in water, subtract its contribution from total alkalinity. This is because the saturation index uses carbonate alkalinity to determine water balance. Divide the cyanuric acid concentration by 3 to find its contribution to total alkalinity. For instance, if total alkalinity is 90 ppm and cyanuric acid level is 60 ppm, the total carbonate alkalinity would be 70 ppm. This is because 20 ppm of the total alkalinity is due to cyanuric acid interference. 60 ppm divided by 3 equal 20 ppm.